It's that time of the year. The NBA regular season just ended, and we're just about to go into the most important part of the season, which is the NBA playoffs. The play-in tournament came before that, and it determines whether 4 of those teams in the East or West respectively will be able to get the 7th or 8th spot come playoff time, and they're going to be able to face the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Boston Celtics, and the New York Knicks respectively, because those are the final 2 spots in each conference that need to be filled in order for the playoffs to start. And it was a crazy year, actually. The last game of the season, there were 3 teams in the West that had the same record. The top 3 seeds respectively, they were at 56 to 25, and last game of the year, those 3 teams had to be able to win some of the games and make sure they had the tiebreaker in order to get the 1 seed. It just turns out the 1 seed was the Thunder because they won their game against the Mavericks. The Nuggets also won, but they're tied with the Thunder, so the Thunder won the tiebreaker because of the head-to-head matchup. The T-Wolves lost to the Suns, so they're stuck at 3rd. If they have won that game, they would have been the number 2 seed and Denver would have dropped to number 3. But instead, the T-Wolves have to face the Suns. And the Suns were the team that the T-Wolves played in their last game, which is crazy enough. Dallas Mavericks and LA Clippers are going to meet yet again in the playoffs. This is their 3rd meeting in the last 5 years in the NBA or so. They met once. Their first meeting was in the bubble where there was no crowd available. It was because it was during their lockdown. And the second meeting was the next year, where only limited capacity were able to enter the arena. And this year is going to be the first time where they're going to face off against each other in sold-out arenas. This is going to be a lot more hype than their last 2 meetings, as the squads that they're going to face are much different from the 2 years in the past, because Luka has Kyrie now, and the Clippers have a whole new squad. They have James Harden and Russell Westbrook off the bench to assist Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. It is currently unclear whether Kawhi would play in Game 1, as the medical staff for the Clippers have not been clear on whether Kawhi is healthy or not, because Kawhi missed the last several games due to the knee injury. Mind you, he suffered a torn ACL near the end of the 21 playoffs, and he had to miss the entire season, so they're trying their best to manage his injuries, because when he's healthy, he's going to be able to go off, and he has a history of doing just that. Since we're playing against the Raptors in our final 2 games of the season, I have to talk about them. The roster that is in use in this game mode, they still had Schroeder, OG, and Siakam, and all of them got traded because the Raptors wanted to go to a different route. They want to fully rebuild. They traded for Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and they are going to run through Scotty Barnes, it seems like. And how Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett is going to fit is going to be a much more interesting case. They go off to a fresh start. Emmanuel Quickley has a new role that he can fully embrace, and RJ Barrett can feel free to play on his hometown Toronto again. He's back in Canada, so Knicks fans have a mixed reception of him, but at the end, I do think they appreciate his time there, because he was solid in last year's playoffs for them. And after the end of our first Raptors game, I wanted to use that kind of lineup, as you can see on the screen, because it's the last game and I wanted to give rest to our main players. And speaking of OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam, New York Knicks will face the Philadelphia 76ers after that close win against the Heat where Nicolas Batum scored 20 points. He really saved them in that game. That is crazy. And here's a fun fact. It's going to be Buddy Hield's first official playoff appearance. 8 years with no playoff appearances. And this is only the first time he's going to appear in the postseason. Well, officially at least. But I'm happy for him. I hope he shows out and he's going to show the NBA why he's among the top sharpshooters in the league. And for the Knicks, Randall's out for the season, so it's going to be a tough out for either team. But at least Anunoby is available, so we can see how Maxey is going to be able to deal with that kind of lockdown defense from OG. But it really depends on OG's health, as he's not always been very healthy. He's had a lot of history with injuries. But I can't wait to see how it goes. Bucks and Pacers, it's going to be a ballsy series, pun intended, because of that incident where Giannis wanted to get the game ball from the Indiana Pacers because he scored around 60 points, and then the Pacers also had a player score his first official point, so the Pacers wanted to give their rookie the game ball, but Giannis wanted it as well, so it really caused a lot of chaos at the end of the game where Giannis just ran to the Pacers locker room to try and grab the ball from them. It was one of the most hilarious moments of the season. So, and the fact that they're going to face each other in the playoffs is going to be much more hilarious, and it's going to be a lot more petty as the series will go on. And without a way, there's going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic, and funny enough, people are going to say it's going to be the most boring series. Hot take, but I'm going to be a lot more intrigued about this series than most people will be. I'm gonna see how playoff Paolo Banchero would do, how Franz would do, and also how guys like Anthony is going to deal with the playoff pressure. And then there's also the Cleveland Cavaliers. How are they going to redeem themselves after that embarrassing series last season against the Knicks? They lost in 5 games and they couldn't even figure out how to beat the Knicks. And with that out of the way, the Nuggets will have a rematch against the Lakers in the first round. The Lakers, after their win against the Pelicans, get the 7th seed yet again, which makes it funny as LeBron James in the first year the play-in tournament had been implemented in its current form. He said that whoever came up with this format should be fired. And it makes it so much funnier when every time the Lakers made the play-in tournament in each year since it's been implemented, the Lakers got the 7th seed each time they made the play-in. So LeBron will have to take that statement back eventually, because they're gonna have to be grateful for it, for the play-in tournament, because they haven't been taking the regular season as seriously as they should be. Celtics and Heat meet yet again in the playoffs, this time in round 1 after the Heat just blew the Bulls out of the water. You gotta be sad for Chicago fans, and it seems like their future gets more and more uncertain as time goes on, because they still have to deal with Lonzo Ball's injury. That's the 2nd straight season Lonzo's missed because of that knee injury, and it's currently unknown when he's going to ever come back. Zach LaVine was out for the season as well, and we don't even know if he's going to be able to come back like fully healthy. And Thunder and Pelicans are going to meet again in the playoffs, a rematch of last year's play-in tournament. Zion is going to be out to start, and how will the Pelicans be able to deal with all of that, as they're going to need him, and it's rough out here. He had such a great game against the Lakers, and then he just had to go down. And going back to the Heat Celtics, Jimmy Butler's also gonna miss the first few games, and the status of his injury is currently unknown. When he went down against the Sixers, he still managed to play through it, and it really shows. He has the toughness, but sometimes your toughness can only go so far, and you really have to deal with the injury one way or the other. And with less than a minute to go, we're tied 99-99. It was a great game by Josh Richardson as well. In most of the clips shown today, he was really going off. He was making his wide open shots. He was getting through the mid-range. Siakam misses it. I had to get the rebound. We get team takeover. 45 seconds left. We have to be able to get something. I get past Dennis Schroeder, but I just took a bad shot because Siakam just contested the floater, so that was a dumb decision by me. And it leads to Anunoby just making it on the other end, giving the Raptors the lead right back. 30.4 seconds left in the game. We have to look for something desperate. I run a quick 2 chase with Josh Richardson. A down screen's gonna be set. That was a good screen initially, but Anunoby just fights through it so easily. So that was a forced shot yet again. Down by 4 with 15 seconds to go. Josh Richardson goes all the way to the basket, does a Euro step over Anunoby, brings the Heat back within 2, brings us back within 2. So we tried to foul, we couldn't even foul in time, so we had to foul Dennis Schroeder. There's no way he's going to miss one of these free throws. He makes the first one 100% successful, and he also makes the second one, so we're back down by 4. There's no chance we're going to be able to win this game at this point, so I just wanted to get Hawkins going. But it doesn't matter. That was a great season for us. We're ready for the playoffs. I know you are ready for the playoffs. It's going to be hyped out here. A lot of the series are going to be tough, and we're going to be tuned in all the way. Oh, look at Bam! Look at that poster! Wow, that is such a great play, great executed play. And Bam Adebayo just did a putback, no, alley-oop poster again.